So what else we do? So aside from rescue, okay, I do rescue. I used to have a partner with rescue, but unfortunately she resigned. And then I rescue with my staff, right? Like I said, the one who resigned, and then with my caretaker. Okay, one of my caretaker before is already, you know, somehow expert with doing rescue, but fortunately they also resigned, so I have a new set of caretakers right now. So normally if I got a call from rescue, I go out with my new set of caretakers. So I've been training him to do rescue also. So sometimes I need to go out, like there are cats, 2 cats in the 4th floor of the building. So they're like on the window, outside the window, there's like a small aisle there. So the cats cannot go up, I don't know why. So I have to, you know, catch the cats there. So I need to put half of my body outside the window of the 4th floor building, and then my staff holding my hand, holding my legs. Okay, I always said them, you have to hold my legs very, very good because I want to get married. I want to get, you know. Sometimes I rescue one cat on the top of the overpass. So she's under the overpass, and then there's this one concerned citizen, like she's there for like 1 month and 1 week, I guess. No food and no water. Okay, I don't know how did she, you know, come up with that very high. And then I called up, you know, some of the government officials for me to, you know, to have the truck because that's very high, the overpass. So they wouldn't lend me a single vehicle. So what I did, I just checked how high is the, you know, the overpass, and then just brought some, you know, I asked one of the donor to, you know, to lend me her vehicle, a big one. So, and then we have a 12-foot ladder. So I go up, so pick up the cats. Fortunately, the cat did not fight. Maybe she wanted to rescue also. She wanted to be rescued also. You've been there for like 1 month and 1 week, so without food and water. So I rescued her, but unfortunately she died after 3 months. I don't know why, but she stayed in the shelter for 3 months. So we also have a lot of like dogfight issues. I have some pictures here, so hopefully, you know, I can show you. And then I will show you our AVP also, our audiovisual presentation. We also have, we also team up with some of the media people in Manila, some of artists, you know, celebrities. I'll show you to you later. And then last month, we also team up with one of the government city in Manila. So right now, they're putting up a pound. So we are helping them. So we help them how, you know, we train them how to like catch stray dogs from the streets, because they don't even know how to handle dogs. You know, when I gave training in some of the barangays, we call it a barangay, like per state. So sometimes they laugh at me. So well, you better get serious, because you can be beaten by a dog if you don't listen to me. That's the time okay, because they are afraid of rabies. Rabies in our country is very, you know, it's not new. We have a lot of cases of rabies in my country. So one more thing, and in our shelter we have like, you know, 300 to 400 volunteers, but you know, I saw here there's a lot of everyday, you know, in our shelter, you know, people in Manila, they work 8 hours, so Monday to Friday or Monday to Saturday. So normally they come help the shelter only every Saturday or weekend, or like if we have an event. We do event because for fundraising, you know, we have to continue in order, because it's very expensive to have a shelter. You know, we spend like 80,000 a month. That's pesos, so 80,000 pesos a month. Minus the dog food and the cat food, because I got some company who provide dog food and cat food for me every month. So that's just the allowance of the caretaker, the food, electricity, you know, phone bills, and then we also rent the place. Although we have like a 5,200 square meters, but we only use a few, you know, because we cannot build, you know, buildings, because it's very expensive. So our shelter can accommodate at least 50 to 60 dogs, at least 50 adult, and then maybe 10 puppies. That'll be fine, and then 100 cats. But right now I have before I left, we already had 147 cats. And then 50 kittens. Well, good for you here. I haven't seen some kittens, so I think I only a few kittens here. In our shelter, we have every day like 16 kittens. That's every day, 16 to 20 kittens. So every day, no, spaying and neutering is not that, people is not aware also. At the same time, if they're aware, our vet is not that good with the surgery. Even in the shelter, we had a lot of mortality also. That's my big problem because the complaint goes to me. So I'm a dentist, I'm not even a vet. So although I know some, how to explain it to them, but as far as I know, this can be prevented also. Okay. One more thing with our country, we use ketamine for anesthesia. Like I talked to Dr. Evans last night. But in our country, this ketamine, this medicine is not licensed. So we bought this medicine underground. So I can only bought 3 vials I can buy every day, but only 3 vials. So it's very, very hard. The only licensed medicine that we have is Solitil. What do you call this, Doc? Tilazol. So but that's Solitil. That's the only licensed drug that we have. But it's very expensive. If you work in a shelter, you cannot afford to, to have a Solitil in your shelter. So sometimes we use human ketamine. Well, it's also work. So it works in our animals, but you have to add more. And we cannot even afford to buy a gas anesthesia. That's very expensive. I think that's the safest. In gas anesthesia, I think that's 600 pesos in my country for just the machine. Then I don't know with the isoflurane, how much is that. I think it's a little bit cheaper, but buying the machine first, it's very expensive.